Okay, first thing that I want to show you today is how you can take something as simple as this, which is just a coloring page that I got out of any kind of coloring book. And the thickness of the paper doesn't really matter, but like the coloring books like for kids, where it's that different type of texture, I don't recommend that just because it's easier to rip. Now you can also print things off from your computer, from a printer, and apply the same thing. I've been actually doing this for a couple years now. I create gifts for other people. I use it as decoration. I mean, the possibilities are truly endless what you can do. And I have just a regular canvas that I bought at the store, and I just painted it with acrylic paint. Okay. Let me move the camera here a little bit for you so you can see. Now, after this is painted, I usually cover this with what's called acrylic clear coat, and you can get it actually in the same aisle as the acrylic paint. Now, I highly recommend this with any kind of acrylic painting projects, because what it does is it really helps seal this paint in so that it doesn't fail, especially if you're doing let's say a welcome sign or something that's going to be outside and in the weather. You don't want all your work to be faded away and have to redo it. Okay, the next thing I do is I painted this yesterday. So what you do is you take a simple sanding block, as you can see. Now, you can get this in any store. I think got this at the Dollar Tree for $1. Okay, it's got a softer sanding side and then a more of a, as you can see, more graded side. Okay, doesn't have to be anything really truly fancy. Now, what I do is I take this block and preferably the softer side, just so you don't rip your canvas. But you go over it like this, and then you just kind of brush it off. Now, if you feel it before you use the sander and then after, you'll definitely feel different. See, now I have a much smoother canvas, which is going to make transferring something like this very easy. I'm not going to hit little paint chunks or anything like that that could mess up my picture. Now, you can do anything from like this, or you can do something like this. And what is nice about this is you can reuse these over and over again. All you have to do is reapply the pencil on the back. Okay, like for this one, for example, what you do is you take your pencil, just a regular pencil, nothing fancy, not a pump pencil, and you cover the back of it with pencil. Now make sure that you cover every part of the print, because if you go to transfer it and let's say that I didn't cover this part with pencil, it's obviously not going to transfer. And then it's really hard to reline it up just to get a certain word or something that you missed. Okay? So since I've already done that, what we're going to do is we're going to take this, and I usually use maybe about 2 pieces of tape. Nothing big. You don't have to tape it completely down. It's just more or less enough to keep it in place while you're tracing it, because you don't want it sliding around on the canvas, because then all of that pencil on the back is going to pretty much smudge and smear all of your writing. So what you do is you're going to pretty much, position it where you want it. Like I want it right here. So I take a little piece of tape. I just tape this corner, make sure it's flat, and tape this corner, okay? Now it's all taped down and it's ready for me to trace over. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to trace this, and then I will show you what it looks like. Now, you don't have to push very hard, especially when it comes to canvas or even to wood plaques. Something like this. It's just a wood plaque. You don't have to press really horribly hard, but press enough to get it to transfer. Because if you press too hard, you can either poke a hole in this, or basically you're leaving indents in your wood. and then it's going to make it harder for you to use a paint marker to go over it, okay? So we're going to do this. So I'm just going to trace the letters like so. Now make sure that you're coloring and shading everything that you want to transfer. Like these letters are a little bit thicker. So and if I want that thickness, I'm just going to go ahead and color it with the pencil so that when I go over it with my marker, I know that that's the thicker parts. Because I want it to have the same look. But if that doesn't bother you, that's okay too. Okay. And then we're going to do this one. I just trace the letters. I'm not pressing too hard, just enough to transfer it. Okay. And like I said, what's really cool is that you can pretty much print anything off from your computer out of Word document or Libby. Anything you really want. You can even print just coloring pages, anything, and transfer it. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift. Now, as you can see, which is a little hard to see, let me see if I can get this closer. You can see the writing, just faintly. Enough there for you to trace it with a marker. It doesn't have to be really thick. It doesn't have to be, you know, so thick and visible on here. It's enough to just give you a base to trace it. Okay. Now what I use is you can use anything like this. This one happens to be oil-based. Or there's ones like these. All different types. These ones are a little bit finer, so for the smaller projects, these ones are actually really nice. But it is water-based, so you need to make sure that you are definitely sealing it. Okay? So I think I'm just going to use, this blue. Okay, it's an oil-based, and you can get these anywhere. And what's really cool is they come in a lot of different colors. Okay, so shake it up. Now keep your picture above you just in case that you forget or you need a reminder of what's in front of you or where you're at. So then you just take this, just gently. You don't have to push hard, especially with canvas. See? Now see, this is the part I traced. Now I'm just tracing right over the pencil. And this is really good, especially if you're not very good at, you know, writing letters or you want them to look unique or something. This is really nice. It also helps me because I have a very shaky hand, unfortunately. So it helps me stay where I need to be. Okay? So now that that's done, as you can see, very simple, looks very pretty, you know, and you can add other things on here like, you know, adding some hearts or something. And after it does dry, if you'd like to go over some of the parts to make them look a little bit better or make them look a little darker, you're more than welcome to. If you have any questions, just feel free to message me. And like I said, try to have a little bit of fun with this and get creative. All right, this is Erica. I'm signing off.